Okay, today we're going over two pieces of Sony news. One success and one failure. Yes. The first thing we'll be talking about is the more happy one. Spider-Man is the fastest selling Sony IP in history. Marvel Spider-Man sells 3.3 million copies in 3 days. It's not just to show how great Sony is, because Sony kind of does own the rights to Spider-Man, so it's still kind of right to make the Spider-Man game exclusive, even though it would be nice if they would come out to PC at least. But the Spider-Man game has sold 3.3 million units just on the PS4. It's the fastest selling PS4 exclusive, possibly Sony exclusive in history. That is literally 1/3 of a 10 million copies sold in just 3 days. And people were saying how successful Yokai Watch was, when that game barely sold like 40,000 copies in the West in the same amount of days. This success thus shows how dedicated the Marvel fanbase is. When we get a good Marvel game, people will buy it because people love Marvel properties. And it's owned by the movie success of how Infinity War is the 4th movie to gross $2 billion. Imagine the last Jedi was this successful, and it wasn't a piece of garbage movie that no one wanted to see. Imagine that movie was a success. It was also the same as the Force Awakens. Okay, let's stop talking about Star Wars, because Star Wars this video is not about Star Wars, so we'll get rid of Star Wars right now. Gone. So it's the fastest selling. It beat even God of War and Uncharted 4. Those games are considered the fastest selling Sony franchise games in history. Spider-Man, our expectations are always on the highest level, said Stephen Terry, Sony's global vice president of sales. Yes, social justice warriors, you complain about Spider-Man helping cops, did not slow down Spider-Man selling 3.3 million copies. This is the fastest selling PS4 exclusive. This is what I mean by Xbox needs to step on exclusives. We need something wowing like Halo. We can't rely on Xbox. You can't rely on Halo and Gears of War forever. You have to make something like Halo or Gears of War. Or even bring back Banjo-Kazooie. A lot of people would like that. Do something other besides making niche games that you advertise like Hello Neighbor and WeCore. Yeah, so WeCore was a good game, but you never advertised the game at all outside of your Xbox channel. Which means nobody knew the game existed. Maybe WeCore could have been one of the best-selling games in history. But no, Microsoft didn't even freaking advertise the game, okay? Or making Hello Neighbor as your big exclusive, one of your big exclusives of the last year. Really? Hello Neighbor? And they're actually making a sequel to Hello Neighbor, which I'm not buying at all. I didn't buy the first game, and I'm not buying the second game. Because Hello Neighbor is complete garbage. It's just... I watched someone play the game and it's just... ugh. But back to Spider-Man the game. This is actually pretty good for Sony and PlayStation in general. So, first Spider-Man Homecoming was the fastest selling Spider-Man in history. Now, Spider-Man now sold 3.3 million copies. A lot of people like Spider-Man and have been waiting for a Spider-Man game. So, basically, Spider-Man is the best-selling game, one of the best-selling games of all time. And, so, if you really want to play, like, the reason why the Wii U failed is because there were no third-party games on the Wii U. It was only exclusives. And the reason why the Xbox One is not selling as well as it could have been selling is because there's no exclusives. So, it goes hand-in-hand, because it could be tons of third-party. People will buy Xboxes for Call of Duty. Yes, people will buy game consoles for Call of Duty, especially if it's their platform of choice. Switch sale, and also Switch sales drops 20 million units worldwide, if you really want to know that. That's the way a story that they come out with. Now let's go to the PS Vita. Oh yeah. Oh, that's actually, is that an old one? But now we're going to the Vita. Yes, does anyone even know what the Vita is? The PlayStation Vita was a handheld made by Sony in 2011 and came out in 2012. The president of Sony revealed they would never release any more Vitas ever again. The Vita was a flop with the exception of Japanese sales. Japan was the only country that released consoles that were selling, actually not released, Japan was the only console that released that, oh no, okay. I'm having trouble saying what I was going to say. Japan was the only reason, the PS Vita sold lots of copies. This is the last PlayStation handheld. There's no sequel to the PS Vita. There's no sequel to the Vita. And there were exclusives for like a year. But the problem with Sony is that they didn't even advertise the console. How can your console sell without advertising it? Same thing with the freaking Wii U. Come on, Sony and Nintendo. You guys never advertised your console. So of course it's gonna flop and sell no copies. Now let's go to a more positive thing. The Nintendo Switch has passed 20 million copies, according to VG charts, of course. This is not official numbers. This is made by VG charts, so we gotta quit this with a grain of salt. The Nintendo Switch, according to VG charts, had sold 20 million copies. And the best-selling games, Mario Odyssey of nearly 10 million units sold retail. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with 9 million units. These are lots of sales. Breath of the Wild with 7 million units. Splatoon with 5 million units. And Kingdom Battle with 2 million. It's funny how 1-2 Switch is not even listed here. ARMS of 1.7 million units. Pokken with 1.5 million units. I'm surprised people actually bought that. Pokken for the Nintendo Switch because that was a Wii U game. Kirby Star Allies sold 1.4 million units, and Mario Tennis Aces sold 1.8 million units. So the Switch is actually doing pretty well, and it's nearing the GameCube sales. Nintendo hasn't really announced it sold 20 million units, but the Switch is doing pretty well despite having no third-party games outside of indie games. It is one of these weird. Nintendo Switch is probably one of those weird exceptions. It has very limited third-party support because reasons. Nintendo has bad relations with these third parties because of the Wii U era. So the Nintendo Switch is doing well because the Nintendo Switch is doing well. It's definitely doing better than the Wii U. The reason why third parties don't support Nintendo fully like other consoles is because of the horrible Wii U era and how Nintendo strained relationships with those companies. And it was actually over graphics of the whole thing because they refused to make the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Wii U was not more powerful enough to run any games, so they couldn't really have any third-party games outside of Lego games. And also, if you look at VG charts, third-party games really sold like bupkis. They sold nothing. The Switch actually has some third-party games actually selling. Yeah, it's true. Mario Plus Kingdom Battle is the best-selling third-party game on the console. It sold 2 million copies, according to VG charts. But it isn't the only one. This is the first time in Nintendo history where a FIFA game sold 1 million. FIFA 18 sold 1.02 million copies, and Skyrim sold 1.01 million copies. And the closest game to selling 1 million third-party game is Super Bomberman Owl of 76,000 copies. It would probably be Octopath Traveler if it was updated to like this exact day. But, Octopath Traveler also sold 1 million according to Square Enix. Whereas VG charts is around 600,000 copies. Just Dance actually sold surprisingly well. But I don't know why people even buy Just Dance anyway still. Just Dance is not even good. It's not even a good game. Only little kids buy Just Dance. Sonic Forces sold 630,000 copies for Nintendo Switch. That's retail copies. Sonic Forces actually sold pretty well according to Sega. Doom. They go down here. Minecraft is lower here, but Minecraft has. It's one of those games that sell well over time alongside Crash Insane Trilogy as near where Doom is. Minecraft and Crash Bandicoot will probably sell well during the holidays, okay? Those games will probably sell really well during the holidays. Sonic Forces will likely sell well during the holidays as well. And several other games like Rocket League, which is at like 22 million copies. It will likely sell more during the holidays. Rocket League is one of those games that sell well over time. Monopoly 2 is another of those games that sell out over, or probably sell out over time. LA Noire is at nearly at 300,000 copies as well. We don't know how well LA Noire did, but assuming it probably did okay. It is a remake of a Xbox 360 game. So these are basically just more news.